Hi, I'm Vetan, and in this video, I'll show you how problem framing helps you avoid those costly missteps and stakeholder battles. By the end, you'll know how to de risk your roadmap, align your team, and build features people actually use. Let's get started. If you're a product leader, there's a good chance your product roadmap has changed at least twice in the last quarter. Maybe a stakeholder from marketing wants a fancy new feature, or a competitor launched something buzzword, and suddenly leadership says, "Why aren't we doing that?" And if they happen to be very powerful in your organization, their suggestion will override everyone else. Or your company strategy took a sudden turn. Maybe your CEO says, "We're pivoting to a new subscription model starting yesterday." Now, big pivots can be necessary, but if product teams learn about them too late or can't link them to validated user needs, then misalignment skyrockets and the risk of product failure grows. I'm really curious what totally throws you off track at work. Please let me know in the comments. But what I want to say is that whatever the reason, change is a normal part of building products. But the real challenge is how do you adapt without increasing the odds of building the wrong thing, without wasting time, resources, and especially your credibility? That's where problem framing steps in. By forcing you to define which problem is worth solving, why, and for whom, you can handle marketing requests, competitive threats, or executive pivots with clarity and purpose. So, what exactly is problem framing? It's a process that helps stakeholders understand and agree on the most critical problem before jumping to solutions. Think of it as the blueprint for your product, ensuring that every new idea or feature request aligns with the structural foundation you've already laid. Without it, you'd risk adding random rooms onto your product house, rooms that might look fancy in a pitch deck, but are actually disconnected from the core architecture. Problem framing keeps your home improvements intentional. Every addition is safe, aligned, and actually helps the people living in there, your customers. At Design Speed Academy, we developed the problem framing approach after years of building solutions nobody wanted during our time as a design agency. It was a hard earned lesson, but it taught us how to tackle the right problems from the start. Once we released problem framing to the public in 2018, Google invited us to teach it to their teams. And since then, it has become an essential method for de-risking product development and also for aligning stakeholders. I'm going to walk you through three stages: discovery, workshop preparation, and workshop facilitation that basically bring this process to life. Let's begin with discovery, where you'll spend roughly 1 to 3 weeks digging into user data, conducting interviews, or talking to your stakeholders. You'll start by identifying a range of potential opportunities. And because not all problems are created equal, you will prioritize the one that align with your product strategy or have the biggest potential impact. Next, you will validate your chosen opportunities by finding proof. You want to gather existing data. Chances are someone in your organization already knows something, so go talk to them. If you still have gaps, fill them in with a few qualitative interviews to confirm or even challenge your assumptions. You will then need to be very crystal clear about who you're trying to help. You'll identify your minimum viable customer segment and create a clear evidence based profile: who they are, what they need, what behaviors they have, what are their pain points, and so on. Now, by front loading your research, you are less likely to be blindsided by every new request or idea that pops up. You can simply check in if a feature fits your actual customer need. It's kind of like picking a restaurant for a group dinner. You want to find out everyone's dietary restrictions before you make a reservation, not after the entrees arrive. Now, let's move on to workshop preparation. This phase is where you transform all your discovery findings into an actionable narrative. To make that happen, you'll need two things. First, identify the right stakeholders. Make sure every major decision maker, technical, strategic, financial, who has decision making power and an invested interest is invited. That way, you won't have to redo your workshop just because a key voice was missing. Then you'll have to visualize your data. Consider using customer journey maps, which provide both a wide angle lens on the user experience and a close up on the most pressing pain points. We've all been in a room where a single strong opinion sends the entire plan in a new direction, leaving you scrambling. By preparing journey maps and solid evidence beforehand, you switch from opinion based to evidence based decisions. Finally, there's workshop facilitation, where your discovery insights and preparation materials come together for actual decisions. The key principle here is to start from stakeholder and business needs. In other words, you begin by understanding where your team is coming from, what are they trying to achieve, and only then you bring in the voice of the customer. This order helps everyone see how user needs reinforce broader business goals rather than competing with them. This approach has proven itself time and time again. In fact, when we started teaching this method to product leaders across the globe, we received feedback like it helped us identify the right problems, a shared understanding enables team to focus where it matters the most. It provided a very valuable new framework for us. If it helped them, it can surely help you. Why does it matter for a roadmap that might change again next month? Well, that's exactly why a shared understanding of the problem matters. Once you have that in common, once you have that reference point, any new request can be evaluated against the same question. Does this serve the problem we agreed on? And then there's also the power of decision making via collaboration. By involving stakeholders early and connecting their goals to actual user insights, they naturally become the gatekeepers of this new direction. Suddenly, it's not just you saying no to random feature ideas, it's everyone. So here's problem framing in three simple steps. One, discovery. Learn about your users and gather evidence. Two, workshop preparation. Turn those insights into a clear story and make sure all key decision makers are involved. Three, workshop facilitation. Choose the problem worth solving together. Change is unavoidable, but losing sight of what truly matters isn't. If you found this video helpful, hit like and subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you next time.